All right, Infinity Tribe. First of all, welcome everybody to the first Justice for Hire Hero Meetup of 2022. This is last year. 2021 was a huge year for us, and this whole meetup. Thank you for everyone for joining. I'll just go down a list real quick. We got Avel, aka Elixir. We have Eric, aka Yulong. We have Z, aka Guru Merkaba. We have Autumn, aka AK Wonder. We have Andra, aka Andra. We have Iran, who's not in the cast yet. We have Mouse, who have been anticipating a wonderful series from him all year. We got Vintage, and that has the wonderful Infinity Tribe name right now, which is great. So guys, thank you all so much for being here. And you know, there's a lot that we want to accomplish today, or maybe a little bit that's very, very packed and full. And last year being a milestone year for us, where in January of last year, literally, I think it was January like 4th or 11th or something like that, we put out a video, and that video outlined a year for Justice for Hire, for the community, for where we want to go. And we went beyond what we wanted to do in that last year. We hit millions of views. We hit tens of thousands of new followers, more specifically around like 77,000 new followers, and partnerships. I mean, it just, the list goes down, like tons of content made from the community that's like true quality, you know, Avel, Elixir, like Vintage, Guru. Like we have so many folks on here who have been making quality content, and each one of these stories expands our shared cinematic universe. And so this year, it's really about us transitioning into adding even more value to the community, to the creators, and expanding what we're doing as a show. And that's going to start within the week. Expanding what we're doing as not just a cinematic universe, but actually as a product, a show that we are putting out to the community. And we had a bunch of talks last year, a bunch of hero meetups last year. Mouse was instrumental on one of those as well, helping us map out our seasons 2 and 3. And so, oh, Danny Fingeroth. Oh my God, we have the wonderful guys. We have Danny Fingeroth in here, former editor-in-chief of Spider-Man. It's a huge deal. Danny's amazing. You gotta watch. I mean, thank you, Danny, for joining us. Big deal to have you. And so nice
to be here.
Coming together. Oh, Danny, did you say something?
I just said it's nice to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, thanks so much. Happy New Year.
You too.
So we are talking about this wonderful coming year for us. And right now, if everyone doesn't already know, Justice for Hire, which is a show that we're producing as a community, and with the storyline of Uber for Heroes, where you can hire a hero or become one and get paid. And that's where we use an app that we've made, an actual app that allows us to tell stories together. We're not a vigilante organization. We are a series and an entertainment show that we have cast members all around the world. And people are coming together, sharing their characters, sharing their stories, making cinematic stories on this app. And that expands the larger cinematic universe, the shared universe that we have. There's also a show that we're producing, a tangible single line story that all of us are participating in. And last year we put out three episodes. We put out technically 4, but the fourth one came out, the first one came out in December of 2019. 2020. So we have 4 episodes out that are like a starter pack. And that starter pack really just sets the tone of what it looks like when heroes work together, what it looks like when a single hero goes out on their own using the Justice for Hire app. We touch on one where, Sensei Claus is coming in. We touch on one where a hero doesn't know that another hero is on a job and messes up their job. And then we touch on another one where a villain actually becomes a hero, and how you can convert a villain to a hero, or hopefully that's the goal, the intention. We'll see how the story plays out there. So we have these 4 episodes that are a starter pack that you can watch on any platform, but they're centralized and easy to watch on our app, justiceforhire.app, where anyone can join the cast. But for this year, we are doing a few things. One, we want to talk to all the heroes about what your personal goals are and see how we can utilize Justice for Hire to help you achieve those personal goals. So that's one. As a collective, Justice for Hire is produced by our startup technology company called ReelwUrld. And ReelwUrld is all about making movies and shows with communities, starring communities, written, directed by communities, etc. Justice for Hire is our first show. And so we currently have our very, very first equity crowdfunding campaign running right now on wefunder.com/ReelwUrld. And anyone can invest in the company and help us grow what we're doing, which includes expanding Justice for Hire beyond the year and just making the production value that much higher, bringing out more cast members and putting more people in front of like premium cameras with premium crews, etc. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff. Obviously, you can shoot a lot of quality from the phone, but it's different when you have a professional crew behind you, etc. So there's that. There's us expanding our technology, because what we're doing with ReelwUrld and what we're proving and what everyone on here is a part of with Justice for Hire is the future of how movies and shows are going to be made. They're all going to be made with communities. That's what social networks are training us, especially digital natives, the younger generations, on understanding that they're already part of the conversation. They're part of the narrative, and you can participate, you can create, and then you can share with each other, share the stories and go beyond sharing and come together in real life. So ReelwUrld is looking at the future of movies and TV from that perspective. So if you're 18 and older and you want to invest in ReelwUrld, be a part of the team, you can do that right now on wefunder.com/ReelwUrld. And if you want to help us expand that message, I've talked to a bunch of the JFH Heroes already about what we're going to be doing in the coming weeks for us to hit our goal. Because doing this equity crowdfunding campaign has been, should I say, getting to the place where we can launch has been an exorbitant amount of work. It's like insane. So the fact that we're now in this transition, or this period where we can transition from, hey, we're finally launched, to now we actually need to run the campaign. Those are two different modes. And yeah, I'm very happy we launched a month ago, but the last 2 weeks it kind of didn't count. I had COVID. I'm fortunately like at 90% right now, and a bunch of other people did too. So sending healthy wishes to everybody. But this campaign is happening now, and it's a very important part of the year. So I mentioned two things just now. One, having all the heroes and getting your goals. Two, our goal of making this campaign very, very successful. And of course, I did touch on Justice for Hire and us putting together the show. And so before we start talking to all the heroes, I want to say the last thing about the Justice for Hire show is that within a week, we're going to start doing live post-production. That means two things are going to happen with that. One, I'm going to have a camera on live, and I'm going to be editing the series live. and it's going to be like, like daily. So you guys, there will be spoilers, but I mean, I don't think anyone's going to watch like all, like too crazy, at least right now where we are as a community. But that being said, the content, what's going to happen in this post-production process is that we're going to use the Justice for Hire app to put out missions and challenges that people are going to essentially create content around that will make it into the series. So up to this point, there's a bunch of missions and challenges on the app right now that you can take on, that you can create content around, but there's going to be very specific asks like, hey, we need a hero running across an alley in this scene chasing somebody. Like we need a hero doing this or doing that. And this is going to happen daily. So, and as fast as people can get it to us, that's as fast as we're going to be able to integrate, see what works, and whatever makes it into the series versus what doesn't, everything still expands the cinematic universe. So just because you shot something today that may not make it into the series tomorrow, doesn't mean in 2 weeks or in 2 months or in 2 years, that same piece of content we don't reference again, because that's how cinematic universes work. I mean, one person saying one thing in one scene that seemed like nothing, years later, you're like magnifying into the frame saying, hey, you see that picture in the background? That was the grandson of the guy who was with Captain America. That's crazy. And you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Spider-Man Homecoming, the principal. That's the grandson, Captain America's buddy. Anyway, this is fandom. This is nerd. and so like, to be true to that, we have to be true to our own creativity and understand that what we create matters. And we don't necessarily need the validation of, hey, it's in a series or it's not, or hey, this many people viewed it or didn't. It's really more so about you feeling good about the story you told and continuing doing that and consistently. And so that's the big message for us for this year. Like we'll talk about it more as we expand on, but I really do want to transition to talking to each one of the heroes. One about just the big year of last year, but of course about what your journey has been with JFH and what you would like to achieve this year going forward. So we can take that into account as we produce this series together and as the weeks go on. So let's I'm gonna just go look at the upper left and go around. So Avel, there we go, aka Elixir.
Hey. So for me, so one of the big challenges I face is that I'm transitioning to moving to France more full time. And I live in a very, very, very small country town in the middle of nowhere. So how to, develop myself and my character around my immediate surroundings. I would really love and hope to be able to collaborate with someone, one of the other heroes or villains in New York when I'm going to be there over the summer. I will be teaching again in Long Island, but I'm planning to try to make time at the tail end of that, probably around October or September, October. And because I love New York and I want to spend a little time there when I'm done teaching, but I hope to cross paths with someone and see if we can make something together. I think that would be really, really cool. So it's a little bit tougher for me being where I'm going to be located. So it takes more creativity to try to figure out how to develop what I'm doing. But I think that with powers combined, could make some magic. So my goal will be collaboration this year. I'm complete.
Avel, I want to touch on that for a second, because I think there's a lot of stories. There are a lot of stories that can be told with a single character in a single quiet location. And that's the reason I've been reading so many comic books lately. I've been diving back into the comic book world because of how many, the breadth of types of stories that singular characters are telling with their own narration. And I think that just seeing what you've shot in France up to this point, I'm not sure if that's the same location you're living in or moving to, but it is so narratively potent. There's just so much in those frames that I would be very interested to see just some of what your character is going through, even in a solitary situation. And I think Yu Long has also done a wonderful job of showing how much can be done as a solo creator himself. So I'll just say, Avel, I'm happy to give you any reference materials possible to inspire you for solo stories that you might want to do with your character.
Please.
But we also have so many heroes on here that I'm sure would love to collaborate with you when you're on the East Coast as well.
Cool.
Yu Long, you're on my right, so why don't you jump right in?
Well, first, Happy New Year, everyone. Glad to see us all here. That's so cool. I've been keeping this idea, this vision, my own personal vision of how our whole entire network within JFH can go. Number one, if you hear a lot of background noise, I have children in my house, so they are screaming and destroying zombies in Minecraft and attacking my dog. So this vision I have is that all of us, we all have a very unique story, a personal story that we can make so fantastic that we can literally develop our own entire fantasy universe, whatever we want to call it, and just put it out into something for 15 minutes, 10 minutes, One obstacle I thought I did have over the last year and a half was time. And then I realized, no, I'm 40 years old. That was last year. No, I'm 41. I was 40 years old. I have a hell of a lot of time. I can take 1 hour out of a week, record something, chop it down to 45 minutes of recording time and maybe 3 hours of editing time over the span of 7 days, which doesn't really equate to a lot of time. But I have, geez, another 70 years left on this planet. I can invest a little bit of time every week for something. Let me tell my story. I think we all have that time that we can just throw in maybe 5 minutes to record this, 5 minutes record that, build it up into a week's time of recording. We would have an amazing story. And then call somebody up and say, hey, can you record this scene? Can you do this? What do you think you would do? Is this possible? And then we would have a friggin' novel. Think of like Lord of the Rings. Each movie was 3 hours? Jesus Christ, we would have an amazing development that just between us, throw in a little bit of the ideas of what we need for the major canon of JFH, man, we could have such an amazing multiverse of stories pointing all to one general idea, and it would be phenomenal. I mean, who does that? I think we could all do that. I mean, it just takes small steps, and each small step is more than any step anyone else could ever imagine taking. And I did, for me, I did Wulong series season 1,
10 episodes.
which I thought was pretty cool.
10 episodes.
10 episodes. Yeah. In 2.5 months. I think I started in October, really putting it together into a film form, recording it on my cell phone. From the first 3-4 episodes looking horrible to several episodes later going, oh my God, Guru, how did you do this tint? And he's like, oh, just mess with the tint and the contrast. And it looked amazing. And then it just, to me, from where I was with zero recording capabilities, except pressing record on my phone, to I loved my 10th episode and I watch it like, I'm a fanboy of Spider-Man, which thanks for writing up Spider-Man comic books, because I enjoyed watching the series over again the last 4 days of my life. I went into Spider-Verse and it was amazing, the whole entire idea of Spider. So it was really fun. Anywho, big ups to Mr. Fingeroth. But I think we could do amazing things, be it one person at a time, 2 people working together on 3 minutes of some type of script. We can really make something amazing happen just between a few of us and lay a platform for everyone else who thinks, well, what can I do with JFH? I want to sign up and become a villain or become a hero. I don't know what to do. Hey, just send an email to one of us and we'll be like, hey, this guy's doing something. This girl's doing something, and we can add into a greater story. I think it's an amazing thing.
That's actually really, you just said something really, really powerful. I mean, you said a bunch of powerful stuff, but the concept of who's in production, not just us. We have an in production section on the app of what episodes are in production, but I think it would be really powerful to include other heroes that are making stuff right now. So like it could be Avell saying, hey, I'm shooting this right now. Any ideas? It could be Wulong, it could be anybody. I think that we should make it really easy for people to connect with each other and produce content even remotely. Because I mean, the fact that you and Guru have already collaborated and you guys are across the country is just a testament to how what we're doing. So that's a big deal, very big deal. So thank you, Wulong and Guru. Let's jump right to you. Looking you're next on the list.
Well, thank you. Yeah, no, definitely. Like, being able to collab, like that's something that, like Wulong was saying, that can definitely bring all of our universes together to focus towards a single point. Because even with our collaboration over these last couple of months, we've been able to, I mean, at least on my end, I've been able to flesh out a little bit of my story, like, because we'll have a conversation and we're trying to bring in pieces of our own universe into it. And when I wanted to say something, I was like, well, I could just say anything, but let's not make it anything. Let's make it something. And so, it got me to dig a little deeper into my character and what that character could possibly be going through or handling in that time frame. So I mean, uh shout out to you, Long. Thank you, brother. As well as, you know, the stuff that we've been able to do, that has yet to be released. But like being able to collaborate, much to Avel's point, of being able to collaborate more over this next year. But what I really would love for, I appreciate you. What I would really love for I guess my character for Guru over this next year, what I would love to accomplish is creating a good story or a good narrative for my character. I've already started piecing things together and writing something, but being able to, I don't know, have the manpower behind it. I don't like that turn of phrase. Have the people power behind it. You know, to you know, make it happen, because as much as I do love filming on my phone and stuff, like, you know, those that have and do are amazing at it, but there's something, as you were saying, Jan, there's something to that, you know, having that professional setup behind you, you know, even just having a few extra hands on set, being able to do more of that, more storytelling, more characters, more bringing more people in. Actually, that would be kind of fun to see heroes bringing others into the fold, so to speak. I know we talked about it a little bit a while back. I think it was on an app test session, but we talked about the possibility of, you know, having apprentices. You know, since I know quite a few of us have children, you know, that may or may not be interested in what, you know, pursuing acting or doing things like that. I know my tiny one does all the time, and Jan, well, we see we see the golden star. And so, you know, yeah, maybe, you know, exploring things like that, or seeing where we can go, where we can grow as a community surrounding like what we can all think of, you know, as a collective.
Those are really beautiful words, especially coming from you, Guru, who has you know, you've produced consistently in the community, and you know, just it's really powerful to hear you say that. And I want to just highlight that you know, Guru, you won the Comic-Con event that we had. And that was really a powerful, fantastic fight scene that you did. And we have Sensei Claus on here as well, who also contributed to that same event with Rick Myers. And that was wonderful to have so many of you guys make fun stuff for the Superhero Kung Fu Extravaganza. And I'm just looking at all these faces, and I'm seeing, you know, Vintage, who was you know, made one of the most profound pieces that we've had across Justifier at all, of anything that we've had, for Wash the Hate, when we were collaborating with that organization as part of you know, our response to the hatred toward, that was the negative energy coming out toward the Asian American community, and the piece that you put together. You know, I still read the comments on the YouTube video for that, and how many people were responding to just your different way of looking at dealing with a challenge. And I think that's, you know, that's the kind of stuff that inspires me when it comes to seeing new heroes. Like, new heroes, we can't have just different faces making the same decisions. You know, we have to have different decision making. And I think you really showcased that with your first piece. I think you really set the tone for what we were hoping to see from the community. And I think that what we saw throughout last year, starting with your video, was just a level of quality that so many people in the entertainment business and across Hollywood told me was not going to come from user-generated content. It was not going to come from the crowd. People don't really know how to make movies and all this other stuff. And each one of your videos consistently proved those, you know, that legacy, that old world executive mindset wrong. And so, you know, I just had to point that out, because I'm looking at Guru, I'm looking at Vintage, I'm looking at Avel, who did that, the first, her Kill Bill Volume 2, our Warner Media event. for the Urban Action Showcase. She was the first submission, and that just energized so many people, including Guru, including you Long, to produce great, high quality content. So that was a little bookmark in there for this video. I was just inspired. I had to say something. I see so many faces, and I'm just thinking about all that was accomplished and what was done last year. So thank you. And since I was just talking about vintage, please. Well, what would you like to accomplish this year for you, and how can JFH help with that?
Hey guys, peace. So what I'd personally like to accomplish this year, I have a lot that I want to accomplish this year, but let me start off with what I've been doing and I guess my progress. So for the past year, I've been developing my tribe, Infinity Tribe, hence the name. And this group is it's funny because it's similar to Justice for Hire in a lot of aspects. It's sort of like an autonomous organization with like a central point that acts like a grounding force. And I'm that grounding force, but my tribe members, they know we're all leaders in our own regard, and we're accomplishing a similar goal. And that goal is to develop community. And so we're doing that first amongst ourselves. And then so we can provide that sense of community for others and expand that awareness of like, love, evolution, this and that. But one of the aspects I'm tackling within that huge spectrum of, stuff is the media aspect. And if I may, I would actually love to show you guys what I've worked on.
Oh,
because I actually had, yeah, I can. Okay, cool. I'm gonna share my screen because it's actually on my TikTok.
Oh,
But
nice.
yeah, this was something I was really proud of. Like, I wanted to expand on it more, but for TikTok, it has to be like quick, so I kind of just condensed it. But here, let me show you. Hold on 1 second. Do you guys see it?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, and that's really it.
Dude, that's we couldn't hear it, but the visuals are fantastic. Man. The transitions are great.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Do you see me? Because it seems like my camera's frozen.
I don't see you right now. I saw you for like a split second.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Oh, now we see. Yeah, there
All right,
you're
cool.
back.
I will drop the link. But yeah, that's sort of what I'm working on. I want to develop my narrative more. But yeah,
Oh yeah, please upload it to the app too.
Yeah, I was thinking of that. I just didn't know which topic, and that's why I logged in recently. But yeah, we'll talk more about that.
Even anytime you're not sure of the topic, you can go right to the off rails challenge on development.
Off rails.
I got in Guru's got something to drop in that.
Yeah.
Yo, this is dope. I love this intro video because I had to, once you were playing it, I was like, no, I have to hear this because it can only sound as good as it
the sound was everything too. So I'm glad you
yeah, no, this is dope. I love this. If you take the time, those of you listening or watching at home, please go check it out on he's Vintage VINTIJ on TikTok. I got you, brother.
I love this. It's like it's the intro video for your character and world.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of like a trailer almost.
Right. It was like a little snippet into my story, my narrative, but from that point, I'm not sure on how to continue it. Also, because like I kind of wanted to market it better and be like, oh, hey, but I don't know. I was just excited about that piece of content. So I was just like, yo, you know what? I don't really care about that marketing shit. Let me just put it, So yeah.
We got a creator just jumped in, aka David.
But yeah, I would love to connect with other heroes or villains in the East Coast right now, because I'm in New York for the time being. But another one of my goals, and I'll end this shortly, but another one of my goals is to travel in a van. And so I'm gonna be traveling from state to state, hopefully, by like maybe April or somewhere around there. And so I would love to like just drive around to each and every one of you and potentially shoot something too. So appreciate that, you know. But yeah, that's my story. That's my yeah.
Vintage, you are our most mobile hero. I had at least two calls this week where people mention you and they're like, "Isn't Vintage blank?" And I'm like, "I'm not sure where he is." You know? I'm like, he's somewhere. I don't think he's where you think he is, though. So now we all know he's in New York. Thank you, man. That's beautiful. I'm very inspired to actually make my own hero intro video now after watching that, because that was so colorful and it was so New York textured. So now I'm thinking like, man, that would, well, what would that be for me? but I'm going to focus on the series first. Focus on cutting that, since so much has it's taken so long just to get to this point. But next up, I see Mouse next. So Mouse, we haven't seen you in a few months, and it's amazing to see you again. And so happy New Year! And what's been going on, and how can let's talk about your goals and how JFH can help achieve them. No problem. I hope Danny and Iran are preparing their JFH characters. Oh, okay. AK Wonder's gonna jump on. Let's go to Autumn, aka AK Wonder, while we wait for Mouse. So Mouse, you'll be after her. I'm gonna mute me.
Hey everyone, nice to see everyone. Happy New Year. Since I'm working on JFH kind of in character and out of character, one thing that comes to mind that works for both is just completing all the missions and challenges that are like existing on the app, just so that we can kind of build scale. I think that's like a really important element of the cinematic universe, especially with Jan going live as he's in the production process, so that he has all this little content all the more content that he can play around with and incorporate into the series. So for me personally, as my character, my goal is to complete a lot of the stuff that's existing on the app, and out of character, figuring out how we can motivate members of the community. And, I'm open to ideas from you guys, how we can motivate people to really rally and really get a lot of content uploaded to the app.
Thank you for sharing that. And I want to, before I forget this, we got EQ joining. But before I forget this, what we're, just to clarify, like what I'm doing with and how that relates to community and what we're going to be doing as we grow with ReelwUrld. Every show is going to have a community. Every movie is going to have a community around it, and you're going to have folks in the community that are cutting content. Some are going to be directing, some are going to be acting, some are going to be doing all of that, which is what we do in JFH. So this is going to evolve over time. But I think that one thing that we should be relying on, that you can rely on me personally, Jan, for, and that hopefully I'm sure other people in the community are willing to do this as well. But just bounce ideas off of for story. Like share content with each other before you post it, before you put it out. We're gonna have a formal forum where we're gonna do a weekly like share and like, hey, here are some notes, so that you can have the best, most cinematic content that you're creating for the style of Justice for Hire. Remember, the style of Justice for Hire, if you have only your phone and only one shot, that's totally fine, because it's about an app that's like Uber for heroes. And if you're really running around, like you'll see in the series, we have scenes where entire scenes are shot in one shot from a phone because someone's chasing somebody holding a phone. Avel was doing that in our viral episode on TikTok. But for others, you may have a second camera or a third camera. So you might be covering your scene, as it's called, from multiple angles. And that just adds to that is one, it is a cinematic style. So it doesn't have to be like, while we have been trained to view movies and shows in a particular way, and that's more akin to what we're used to, it doesn't have to be the only way. But regardless of what way, we should all be able to rely on each other for notes and just to make our content better. So while I'm editing and focused on the series, that doesn't mean, that I am still accessible if someone wants a development call, if someone wants to just talk about their character and where they're going. And this is part of what we're doing with ReelwUrld, is essentially truncating a very old Hollywood style development system of filmmaking. And we're saying, oh, okay, well, hold on, like what happens if it's really about community rather than a handful of people in a room making decisions thinking that they know what everyone else is going to like. Like, it's really got to be about community. That's where everything's going. And each one of us has the responsibility of living up to that and working with each other and utilizing each other as instruments in the symphony that we want to play for the soundtrack to our lives visually. So so I'll throw that out there. I'm available. I will always make time and ask other heroes too, because you have some very, very talented people on here right now. And you can see even folks who are not necessarily cast members, we have some significantly talented people. Ron is an amazing producer. And Danny, thank you, Spider-Man, and many other things. He also wrote Stan Lee's autobiography. Feel free to plug that book, Danny.
It's not an autobiography, it's a biography, but
there we go.
That Stan's bio that, let me see, I have no idea what, I'll start my video. Let's see, am I? All right, well, maybe I'm not, there I am. I'm in Doctor Strange.
Oh my God, you're in Doctor Strange.
And I've got Doctor Strange apparently worked on my hair as well. So it's called A Marvelous Life, The Amazing Story of Stan Lee. It's I did the audio book. It's out in paperback. But I'm just this, what you guys are doing, I barely understand it, I have to say, but I'm intrigued by it. And so I'm not comfortable to sort of being a stalker and kind of in the background with just my name up there, but I so barely understand what what this is about that I'm happy to absorb it. I mean, it is funny that I've just recently been saying to myself, I was a film student a million years ago, and just thinking, boy, I'm more than 40, quite a bit more than 40. And I kind of, the idea of being involved with making movies is intriguing. And I guess that's why I aside from Jan's incredible charisma and magnetism and brilliance, that's why, I think why I showed up. But right now I'm just kind of listening and appreciating what you guys are doing.
So Danny, if we had a team that I could say, hey, go and pull that clip from Danny right now from our Comic-Con panel where you state, I'm going to misquote you because I don't remember exactly.
Oh my God, I hate when people quote me. What did I say?
Autumn might even be able to pull it up. But you state that audience participation has been happening for years just in slow motion.
Did I say that?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, wow, really smart. What the hell did I mean?
Oh my God. Well, because we were talking about building a cinematic universe with a community. It was you, me, Ahmed Best from Star Wars, Autumn. Right. We had Jeff Gomez, who's handling the entire Ultraman franchise.
In COVID time, that was like 20 years ago. So remind me what.
It's Autumn's going to share the link in here, but she'll pull it and she'll post it. Yeah. Well, but because we were talking about Wolverine potentially being crowdsourced, which I heard, which you had not heard, but you were talking about the black suit, the symbiote suit from Spider-Man being sourced from the crowd because Jim Shooter tried to get, someone created it and he paid the guy, and the guy tried to write it and it didn't work out, and so he just so you shared that story.
And Marvel, Marvel, I guess, personified at that point by Jim, made the decision that it was easier to pay this guy $500 than to end up in like a multi-million-dollar lawsuit 10 years down the road or something, so I think this is one of those success has many parents. I mean, that's I think say Tom DeFalco came up. Spider-Man is kind of writ large, kind of what you guys are doing, in the sense that it's a collective work. It's owned by a large omnivorous corporation, but I mean it's a collective work that's been going on for 60 years, and the symbiote suit is part of that, right? But that was so I think that's what I was referring to back, in that panel, which you were kind enough to invite me on.
Well, Danny, I want to take that moment and I want to connect it to, because you said you're doing your best to wrap your head around what we're doing here.
Yeah.
This is the bullpen. Like, you're in it right now. This is each one of these heroes is a creator and owner of their own intellectual property. That we have Yulong, Eric owns Yulong, Avel owns Elixir. Everyone owns their character, and our app is the shared story world. So just like Marvel's universe is expansive and every character is written by multiple people, well, for us, we've created our own characters, and the playground in which they all interact is the one storyline of Justice for Hire. And that storyline happens to have its own app, which is built by our startup studio, ReelwUrld. And we're going to make apps just like that for every movie and show, like Harry Potter and Star Wars and the DC universe, etc. But we're starting with Justice for Hire. And so we see that the future of movies and television is actually people just coming together with their own characters and being able to shoot scenes on their phones to interconnect those characters.
And then is there right, say in Marvel, it's pretty cut and dried. Marvel and Disney own Spider-Man, Venom, all those characters. What's the model here? And if it's too complicated, if it's, I don't want to take this in the direction you don't want to go, but what's the model? Who owns that? How do you split any revenues or losses?
Everyone on here owns their own character. And when you press the agree to terms button on our app, we have a non-exclusive license to your character. So, and as time goes on, like essentially everything is a 50-50 rev share when money starts to be generated on the app through a person's particular character. But as time goes on, obviously that'll be shifting. And when I mean shifting in favor of the creator. And we want to help. We know that on here we're going to find the next 100 Deadpools. We just know that. Like it's this ecosystem and the level of creativity, the kind of stuff that the folks on this call right now have already created. The quality is too high, and it's only going to get better. And it's just so good, So and if everyone doesn't know, the bullpen is. I mean, Danny, would you like to describe the bullpen? What am I doing? Would you like to describe the bullpen, please?
Well, the Marvel bullpen has been many things. Marvel has existed in one form or another since 1939, and maybe really at least since 1939. Sometimes it was just Stan. So the bullpen was at one point literally groups of artists and writers sitting in rooms cranking out comic books. But at a certain, and I guess today the Marvel bullpen would be the support staff that does lettering and art corrections. But the legendary Marvel bullpen is an imaginary place that Stan Lee made up that was, sort of imagining him and Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko and Larry Lieber that they were actually sitting in a room and bouncing ideas off each other, when in reality they mostly worked at home. But the idea that there was this dream world of this Marvel bullpen was a very powerful fantasy to almost imagine the equivalent. Say we're all looking at each other and seeing all these ourselves in our separate. But I mean, that just might be like the Marvel bullpen, because we're actually all at home or somewhere and yet there's this common reality that we're now inhabiting. So this is kind of a pictorial representation of this thing that Stan made up of a bunch of people, who often didn't even talk to each other. And yet some, and you've all read the stories and who created what and who gets paid what and who got screwed and who didn't. But, but it is this dream world that of an idealized version of a creative, I don't think I thought it was a collective, but a creative group.
Well, it's, I mean, just to hear about how decentralized it actually was is even more inspiring for what we're doing.
Well, it's a testament. I mean, whatever else you may think of Stan, and, there's a gamut of opinions about him, and there, you can, if you don't know, Google it. I mean, but the idea that somehow he forced this this fantasy of a collaborative group together, that really still, I think there's still some of that vibe. I think that's still to this day the difference between the Marvel and the DC movies and TV shows, that there's it's just so funny. It goes back literally to the 1930s, and yet the idea that Marvel, even with its corporate existence and its multi-billion-dollar existence, still, I mean, you tell me if I'm wrong, but because I'm obviously not unbiased. I don't work for them anymore. I mean, I do things sporadically for them. I consulted on that traveling Marvel show and so on. But the idea that despite the tens and hundreds of billions of dollars it generates, that people still think of it as the little engine that could, we're number two, we try harder, even though they won that fight, decades ago. I mean, if I'm wrong, tell me, but I think that they somehow still manage to have that impression.
All I can say is that I think we're all massively inspired by what Marvel brought, not only to storytelling, period, but especially cinematically, and how they've shown how so many stories can work together. And I really believe that what we're doing is taking that spirit and making it more tangible in everyday life. That we're saying, hey, you know what? Our stories actually can tie together right now. We don't have to wait for the next big Marvel movie. Like, we're in it. You can't get better than Endgame unless you're in it. Like, it just does not get better than Endgame. So we're working together, and we're gonna make this thing.
Okay, well, I'm like I said, I'm here to learn, because it's really it's very intriguing, and I'm just sort of, I mean, obviously I need to go to the site and explore it more, but I'm just sort of beginning to understand what you're trying to do and what you're doing.
Well, if anyone's got questions for Danny at any given point, just feel free to raise the hand. We will pause everything, because it's a huge deal to have him on here. Thank you, Danny, for sharing those thoughts.
And I'm findable, Danny at DannyFingeroth.com, or Facebook. I'm not, I'm on Facebook because I'm old, so but I'm very proud that I figured out Facebook.
Mouse, are you ready with your audio? Oh my God, here we go.
Hello.
It's good to see you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I can't really say that much about story and stuff.
Sure.
because if I do, I'm gonna go on and on. So I would, for story wise, I would let you talk about it. But what's it called? Actually, what was the question? I'm sorry, I forgot.
Sure. No, I should reiterate. Essentially, like we're wondering what goals you have this year and how can JFH help you achieve them? Because that's part of how how we're building together. Is you might have a goal, perhaps we can work to help you achieve that goal as a community. So just let us know what you want to achieve for yourself, maybe even as your JFH character, but definitely for yourself.
At this point, I have no idea. Like, I bet you at this point tomorrow I could get something, but then today I still don't have nothing. I have no clue.
Hey, we call that infinite potentiality. Aha. That's a great position to be in.
Yeah.
Well, Mal, so we're still super grateful. Anyone who has not seen the Hero Meetup from last year, where Mouse, threw out some ideas that really spun into a significant clarity for the end of our season 2. Just check that out. I think that's Hero Meetup 18. Might be Hero Meetup 20, but I think it's Hero Meetup 18. So check that out. And Mouse, we're still looking forward to seeing so much stuff from you, because you have you and EQ have a real wonderful vibe together. And EQ would love to hear from you next. It's good to see you too. If you're available. Oh, there we go.
Can you hear me all right?
Happy New Year. Good to see you.
Happy New Year. How have you guys been? I know it's been a minute since I've been at one of these things.
Hey man,
I've been keeping tabs. I watched the replay on YouTube and see what's been going on.
Awesome, man. Well, we're just setting up for our biggest year yet. Like we've said earlier. Last year we set goals and we achieved all of them, like beyond our expectations. Whether that's millions of views or tens of thousands of followers or great partnerships and great content from the community. And now it's time for us to be more bold. So, and more bold means more unified. And how can we help each other? Like, me personally, I'm cutting a series, the Justice for Hire series, which is going to be like the tree trunk for a lot of the content creation that we're going to be doing this year. And it's also for what we're doing with the ReelwUrld startup, a big part of us saying, hey, look, this is what it looks like to actually produce a show with the community. And like we're setting the model, like we have the app technology built, we have the content shot on our side, but then we need content from the community to actually finish. And so that's what we're very much focused on. And in that process of creating content as a community, we look to make sure that what we're making, how we're seeing ourselves on screen, is actually affecting our real lives in the most positive and uplifting way possible. And that doesn't necessarily mean, every video is about, rainbows and flowers. Like you could still have a hardcore action scene, that makes you better.
I hope to do. I don't know how hardcore, but I do intend on having some action scenes.
Well, dude, let us, I mean, anything you can reveal, let us know how we could be helpful.
Well, I think the most helpful thing I can do is be back part of the group. I've had a lot of things going on, so I haven't been part of the much of the meetings and whatnot. Because there's certain aspects, I've got the beginning, middle, and end of my story. There's certain aspects I wouldn't mind jumping into the group and bouncing some ideas and seeing what flourishes out of that.
Well, so you can always, if you would like, I mean, I'm always happy to talk about it with the group, but if you want to do it in a very focused and organized session, I'm always like, we can do a development call, they're called. And you can just press the button in the app to request a development call. It'll go right to me and I'll be like, yes. And we'll just set a time during the week and then we'll just jump on a very focused story call for your character. Because and Mouse, if it's going to be, maybe both of you guys want to do it together, if you want to do it separately. But this is part of what this is part of the development process for a movie or a show. And like going through an actual development session will be helpful for you guys, helpful for us, and helpful for the community as a whole, because it'll just increase the quality of everybody's output. That we'll know more about how you want to do your story, and we can prepare our story to receive your story. And then you'll have even more clarity on how you want to execute, and then actually be able to deliver that. And so if that's something you're interested in, just, I mean, we can schedule it. You just let me know and I'll just DM you, but you can also do it right through the app too.
Right through the app. That is a handy function.
Yeah, justiceforhire.app. I mean, I think you're already on there, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm already on it. Just wanted to help you plug it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's what we call
actually, do you mind if I do a plug real quick?
Oh, do a plug. I know you got that new podcast too. I
do have a podcast. I do want to talk to you about that off air, but real quick, while I've been away, me and some friends got together, started a band. So I want to just real quick plug the band. If give a Google to the Hampton Connection, Hampton like the multi-billion-dollar company, but no relation. But we play country blues and a little bit of rock and roll. That's what I've been up to.
Oh man, it's awesome.
Yeah, Joe, Orlando, and Michael.
Well, what was the name of the group one more time?
The Hampton Connection.
The Hampton Connection.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Yeah, the guys would kick me if I did something like this and didn't say the name of the band a few times.
And put it in the chat too for everybody, please. Also, so they can see it. That's awesome.
I definitely will.
I'm not sure if you've ever seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World, but there's always opportunity.
Absolutely. Dude.
I want you to know that I just downloaded it for Switch for $7.49, and it's amazing. The game. Just throwing everybody out there. I'm sick with COVID playing video games.
Oh my goodness. Everything. Switch is gonna have everything. It's got Skyrim. It's gonna have GTA at some point if Nintendo's sensors allow that to get through there.
Hey man, Mortal Kombat 11. That's all I have to say.
Hell
I
yeah.
have beaten it.
So, what big things is coming for JFH that we can talk about?
Well, we're editing the series starting. We're going to be doing live stream of the editing starting next week, and that means that we're going to be requesting content from the whole community, literally every few days. So as much as content, as much comes in, as fast as it comes in, that's as fast as we'll integrate. And this is going to be not just for the JFH community, but it's also going to be a big push for our equity crowdfunding campaign, because us having fuel as a studio allows us to produce and move as a larger studio. And like, we absolutely see ourselves as being one of the biggest studios in the world in the coming years. We are focused on making movies and shows with the community. This is our first show. This is our first community. And this is the future of how movies and television are going to be made. So we are together forging a new path.
I think you're absolutely onto something, man. I remember when I first saw Justice for Hire's ad on Instagram, serendipitously, I was already working on a side, like wanted to make a short film. And when I saw the stuff you guys are creating, I just went, well, hell, that's a community I kind of want to be a part of. So I just took the story I was making and folded it into the world you guys had already started to build. It was really neat to go in and see the amount of collaboration amongst all the people. I was like, man, I want to, if I'm making something anyway, I want to be part of this group. These guys look like a fun time.
Dude, thank you for saying that, because we're going to cut that. We're going to post that. That's why. That was great.
Feel free. I've talked about you guys to everybody. When I first got involved with JFH, I annoyed the shit, pardon my language, I don't know where this is going. I annoyed everybody I knew because I wouldn't shut up about it. It was like, oh man, I'm doing this thing and blah, 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 blah. And I had so many people like, yeah, superhero show. Okay, whatever, go away. Like, I annoyed people to the point where I talk a lot anyway, and had people going, hey, bring it down a bit.
Well, hey man, this is this is a long haul, and like, again, like last year was with such a milestone this year, we just got to go harder and bigger. So, and that's what we're doing together.
It's been insane to see what's happened. I've been very grateful to have been a part of it for as long as I have.
Oh, well, hey man, we're grateful to have you. We love you, man. So we'll definitely do that. Let's do it this week if you guys are available. Let's do that development call.
Sounds like a plan to me.
And I see. We have Klaus, aka Sensei Claus. Klaus. We would love to hear from Klaus, creator, Andra, and so Sensei, are you available?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
So on the general topic of, can you guys hear me all right?
Sure can.
All right. So what I'm doing this year is I'm looking to, as cheesy as this is, actualize a bit. I'm the kind of guy that sorry? Oh, there's something. So some people think too much, some people don't think enough. I'm the first type. And I've put together a lot of, you could say, plans, drafts, all that, but I've actually produced very little. So if I want to do something this year, it's translating some of the material I've prepped into something people can actually enjoy, not just sit around in my head and my hard drive.
That's a noble desire, and the first person I look at on here for that is you, Long. Just the amount of content that he's cranked out on his own, and which being on your own and not necessarily having anyone to shoot with is a massive hurdle for so many people. And I'm personally inspired by you, Long, getting not only getting over that hurdle, and not only making a single piece of content, but making 10 pieces of content and improving every single time. So, if maybe you guys can talk about process, etc., but and if that's even necessary. But Sensei, I know you to be an incredibly deep thinker with knowledge that so many people do not have, and I'm hoping to see more content from you that shares that knowledge, because literally every single time I talk to you, I have to start Googling stuff.
Well, that's something I was talking to you about earlier. I'm thinking I'll make a second character who's more about that. Sensei Claus is primarily about comedy. And if you mix the streams, you can give people, in today's world, people tend to go somewhere for what they want directly. And if it's not exactly what they're looking for, they get turned off pretty quick. So I'm thinking I'll split the streams a bit.
Well, let's not downplay Sensei Claus, that potentially the only character that had a crossover with Cowboy, the pro MMA fighter, in what's getting cut this week, who actually earned the respect of that Cowboy. Potentially the only character, as he eats noodles.
You know what I mean, though? It's like I take a lot of inspiration from weird stuff. But I mentioned Jackie Chan a few times because the guy's probably the best living action director.
Absolutely.
And if you look at what he does, he tends to generally make comedy-heavy movies that can have some information, but he never throws that at you or forces that at you or tries to make a movie that's just, essentially reading a script. The dialogue that's there is there for a reason, but it doesn't dominate the movie, ever, really. There's no Jackie Chan movie I've ever seen where you're waiting for them to shut up and get to the action comes to you. So that's my thinking. A Sensei Claus, I want him to exist in that kind of milieu. So the other guy I've been cooking up, he is a bit more talky, a bit more slow-paced. Anyways.
I'll say this: this weekend with my son, we watched Around the World in 80 Days with Jackie Chan, which I had never seen before, which is amazing. And I mean, the cameos in that are a testament to Jackie Chan's legacy. He's got like Richard Branson and more in there. But it's we also saw Shanghai Noon because Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson is a great pair. You know, we need that
Well,
Marvel movie.
he plays well with anybody. That's the thing is, I've heard he's a lot more abrasive in person. His happy-go-lucky character is a character. He's kind of, from what I've heard, the action equivalent of Stanley Kubrick in real life.
Wow.
But, you know, quality's hard. Greatness doesn't come easy.
That's quite a comparison. The action equivalent of Stanley Kubrick.
So I don't want to eat up the whole thing because a few people haven't spoken yet. But I was watching this interview with him one time where he showed this clip of himself throwing a fan like a boomerang and catching it again.
He threw
And
a
he says,
fan?
A fan, yeah. It's from one of his other
Okay,
movies.
okay, not a person.
Yeah, no, like, you know, a folding fan.
I now understand what you mean.
Yeah. And he was saying, people see this and they think, wow, Jackie's so good, he can do that. And he says, well, no, it took me 154 tries. So that's a lot like Kubrick. Kubrick was like that too. He would shoot everything again and again and again until it matched the standards, which again wasn't always easy on the actors or the crew, but he made some great movies. You can't deny that.
Hey man, so the best of all time. Well, like I said, Sensei, you know, we're always so inspired by you. I'm very much personally inspired by you, and I would, you know, hopefully, you can draw some. Maybe you and Long can connect, but we want to see more content from you, especially packed full of that tasty, delicious knowledge. So.
I mean, you belongs in Jersey, you got the booster shot. I could go out there sometime, you know, wouldn't be too hard.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you. And Andra, let's hear from Andra or Creator. Creator, looks like you're running back and forth. If you have a moment, I wasn't sure if I was going to see you on camera.
Hi.
Oh, hold on. Good to see you.
Yeah, my bad. I'm at work right now.
Okay, no problem.
I just had to tune in real quick.
Well, hey,
How's everything?
Hey, thank you for even being on here while you're in the midst of work. We're doing the roundtable and seeing how any way that JFH can help you in this coming year, help you achieve your goals.
I mean, you guys have help, so my goal is just to be more consistent. You know, stay on top of it. You know, you only get what you put out, right?
It's true.
Oh, hold on. My bad. I had to take that. So I just think that, you know, my goal is to be more consistent, you know, pay more attention to detail and start asking for help when I need help. What's up? 10 o'clock. Anyways, yeah, that's it. Have a good one, guys.
Love you, man. Thank you.
All right.
Andra?
Hi guys, Happy New Year. Greetings from the East Coast. I was listening to all of you, and I personally am so grateful for from like just seeing the progress from when meeting Jen for the first time, taking on the endeavor of Andra and building the app. So for me personally, I think that one realization was that building the actual character of Andra, because it can be confusing, like in character, out of character. I remember one test session when Jen was like, well, this is part of the series. And I'm like, it's just a test session for me. What are you talking about? And he was like, Andra, we're making a movie. This is part of it. And I'm like, okay. So that with combined with, I almost want to take all the challenges on, put them separately in a menu and just make sure that I build Andra's story in like with the, I would love to see, like at the end of this year, I would love to see a spin-off JFH of the app test adventures. It's been so fun, and it's been like seeing people like taking from off screen. We're changing the industries from script to screen, but I loved after seeing Guru on screen, we had on the Zoom sessions just to meet in person, and we had so much fun filming together. And that's something that I would love to transpire in all our productions, just to understand. I would love to, like, because whenever you guys say, oh, can the app do that, can the app do that, and I'm like, just say it. Yeah, we can do it. So I would love to have like be able to invite other people to join the cast, and like for Avel or for anyone else. But first and foremost, it's while being here in New York, I've been talking to a lot of people, and everyone wants to make an impact. And I think the biggest realization is that the biggest impact that you can make is by telling your own story. And that I've been so inspired by each and every one of your stories, and just coming together and having fun and filming in the alley. And it was amazing. So I think that just, and of course with ReelwUrld, but I just want to make sure that, yeah, and just break that storage. I cannot wait for the notification that you've reached your capacity. Please increase your budget. So I dare you all, this is my personal dare for all the foundational heroes, to complete all missions and challenges, create new ones, drive the story, and yeah, just have the server support that. I probably will regret this at one point when Jen will text me at 3 a.m. in the morning saying, why is the app not working? But yeah, let's max out that storage. Thank you all.
Thank you, Andra. Well, why is that not working? I mean, guys, try to break the app. That's what Andra's saying. She was like, go for it. Avel, you want to?
Yeah, we're gonna Kim Kardashian this thing. I wanted to just piggyback real quick. I know, I think someone else still needs to talk, but I was thinking, and Andra was really kind of expounding on that, is a part of, you know, when Danny was saying, you know, I'm new to this and I'm just listening and trying to absorb everything and understand really what's going on. And I mean, even I am still in part of this process and journey of really trying to focus in on the very expansive and deep vision that Jan has. And I'm going along for the ride, and it's great. But how much these meetups, and even just for like today, I was writing down notes because I was inspired by things that we were talking about, that this is all part of it too, you know? So, and how important these and wonderful these meetups are, just for like-minded people to come together and have a moment in time connecting, you know, share, whether it be vulnerable or whatever it is, you know, and just have a sounding board, and support for each other is, not for nothing else, a really wonderful and powerful thing, you know, standing alone. So I just wanted to say that this is as much part of the journey, I think, for me, and being a part of these you know, connective sessions, as making a film, a scene, or whatnot, you know. So yeah, let's do it.
Thank you. Well, that means so much. That means so much to hear that, because that's how I think we all feel about these. But to hear someone say it, thank you, Val. But before I drop on some closing words, I'm wondering, Iran, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm good. I'm sorry. I'm so not techie. I'm like listening to all of you, and I have no idea how to make the camera work.
The camera work. Let's.
I
I
do-
think you press ask to start.
No,
just
no,
press
I
ask
know
to start video.
it's not work. There is like some bug. I don't know. Whatever. But I'm so not techie. Even like for example, 2 years ago, I think like a sec before the pandemic hit. Jan and Andra and I, we went like I arranged this meeting with this guy. I don't remember. They talked and talked. I just made the
I'm going to pause you for a second, Iran, because Danny, we know you because of Iran connecting us with with oh my God, I can't believe
David.
with David
David.
Sable.
Ah,
Oh my God.
It's Iran who connected us with David Sable.
But
Yeah.
David, that's hilarious.
That's because Iran's a jet-setting producer.
That's right. You came to me with David Sable, who I have known since I'm 6 years old. So
wow, that's one. Wow, I'm so happy. Wow. Now I'm really satisfied, Jan, that I called you yesterday. But I was so techie. I'm so not techie. Like they talked and talked, and I like, well, I had no idea what they were talking about. I was like sitting there, and on the elevator, went after that to a diner. I said, "What is TikTok?" You talk like forever about TikTok, and then you
No
explain.
one cares about that. No one cares. We care about JFH.
I know, but I just wanted to say, like, just to amplify how much, like, I'm not, even the camera I can make work. But basically, I know I'm here. I didn't talk with Jan, like, I think almost for 2 years. And I just came back to New York after 18 months. I was traveling, mostly in Israel, but some other countries. I'm a film distributor, and I'm doing some film sales. And yesterday I'm coming like from art house films, but I love, me and my big brother, we grew, we loved comic books and everything. And my big brother is actually what he does for a living. He has 3 huge toy stores in Israel. So, he has like everything you can imagine. His kids are very lucky. And yesterday I was like texting with my brother, and then he told me like, you have to see Cobra Kai. And I said, like, what is it? Like, I said, like, what is it? It's like Karate Kid. So yesterday I moved to upstate New York. I left New York. I just arrived to New York. I celebrated my birth after 18 months. I celebrated my birthday, and the world shut down again. So I left New York because of I was like, what the hell am I doing here? So I moved to this farm in upstate New York. So yesterday I started to watch Cobra Kai, and it was like middle of the night, and I thought about Jan. So I thought I'm gonna give him a call. And now I'm very moved because there's like sensei here, so it's like all the dots are getting connected. But what can I say? I really, Jan and I were like roommates for a while, like in New York. He was like in the middle, in between, and we had a very good connection. And although basically I'm not looking for myself to build a character, I have to say it, but I'm really enjoying, to be a supporter of Jan and Andrew and to reconnect now. My power was always just to connect people. You need some impresarios, people that make the connections to help. And although I am a storyteller and I love to write and everything, but I have no intention, to build myself a character, but I would love to, to continue assist to Jan. Jan did a huge thing for me in the last 2 years. Regardless, I would love to assist. And it was a joy to hear all the stories here, guys. Happy New Year.
Hi, man. It was, I mean, look, man, it's Guru, you got something to.
Sorry, that was actually a slip of the hand. That was supposed to be a little bit later. Go ahead. No,
it's so great to see everyone coming here and coming together. And I'm hopefully Angelique just came on and then couldn't hear anything, so hopefully she gets to come on. Angelique is the only returning hero from the Justice for Hire comic book series, Louisa, and you'll know Angelic Zambrana from Gossip Girl, the new Gossip Girl series, and here she's coming on right now. So hopefully, Angelique, hopefully you can hear us. I'm waving also. Hopefully you can hear and see us. But if not, we love you. Grateful to have you. But
Can I mention, meanwhile, one of my favorite moments from 2021, which spoke a lot to the power of what we're doing. It was me watching SVU, and the next day meeting Angelique and her holding the app, our work, and taking that picture with her. It was so surreal. I was like, wait, I just saw her on screen like yesterday, and now I'm meeting her in real life. So, and she's so amazing. So that was like, whoa, it was mind blowing. A little fan moment here.
While I don't necessarily watch Law and Order SVU, I watched it for Angelique on the season finale and the season premiere last year, and she's amazing in it. Totally elevates everything about the show. Again, I'm not a regular watcher, but Angelique is very electric. So and we're always amazing to have wonderful people join our cast, and she really brings to life the hero. My favorite character to write for it was Louisa from the comic books, a cop turned justice for hire hero. So if Angelique can hear us, be great to say hi. But if not, we know that you are your spirit is here. And as Ron said, it's oh, hold on, something just happened with Angelique's thing. I see her face, and something's happening. Uh-oh. Are you Uber lifestyling it? Is that what's happening, Angelique?
You make it sound like a condom. Yeah, I'm right here. I am. Let me try to find my light. Hi.
Hey, what's going on?
I am coming in and saying hi in between running around Los Angeles. Hi, everyone.
What's going on? Angelique, we're nearing the end of our meetup, but I'm so happy you got to pop in. And
oh, thank you. I wasn't going to be able to stay for the whole time, but I wanted to say hello and Happy New Year to everyone. If you could sort of see my face.
Oh.
Been passing a little bit, but how is everyone today? How are you doing?
Oh, the video that the video of you popping by, she popped by our place while I had COVID 2 days ago. And of course, didn't want to cough on her or anything like that. So like a little wave with sinister laugh from the window has done quite a few views on the ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was
went
like,
into
who are
your
all these
window.
people?
I called out to your stoop, New York style. Jen! Yo, Jen! How you doing today? You doing better?
You broke up. This is
I feel like we're on the news and I'm trying to talk to a correspondent on the ground.
So I will say this, that Angelique stepping into JFH is a big part of us, what we're looking to expand upon in this coming year. And I think that when you see, and year and beyond, like when you see heroes like Yu Long with his own series and being able to say, hey, look, here's a character that's continuing on and you're learning more about their lives. Again, like the Louisa character was one of my favorite characters, my personal favorite character to write for the Justice for Hire comic series. So Angelique stepping on is essentially us moving in a direction to push forward with her character in a big way as we go on this year as well. So it's awesome just to have everybody together on the same call and to look at all these faces. Even if some of you guys are shrouded in shadows, I really just mean Angelique in an Uber. Even though Mouse has got that awesome, only the headphones outlining the face. But thank you, Angelique, for joining us here.
Absolutely.
And thank you, everybody. I want to say that this. And if there's anything anyone wants to add, please, raise your hand. Guru, is that a real hand raise this time? Oh, go for it.
Yeah, no, I had a feeling you were wrapping up. So I was like, oh, this is the appropriate time for it.
Okay, what is it?
No, I just wanted to shamelessly plug some of the stuff that I had going on.
Like that wonderful T-shirt that looks like a delicious flavor of ice cream.
Yes, actually, in fact, I have my own clothing line for, if I can get to the back and show you, shopzpeoples.com.
Oh, I only see hair.
Oh no, move the hair.
Oh my gosh.
Shopzpeoples.com.
Nice.
If that was an ice cream shop, I would absolutely eat there.
I mean, we might have a clothing / ice cream shop put in
Do
one
it.
day.
Like, Tiff,
Totally
do
gonna
it.
do it. But the kind of clothing I like to make, or the kind of merch I like to put together, is aligned with a lot of stuff I do. This shirt, Alien Ice Vibe, what I like to put together, I call them the anagrammed affirmations. So this is the anagram of I believe I can, which is,
oh wow. Wow.
Down there. You see Alien doing the cold as ice, or ice in my veins. Yeah, that, and then as well as I know EQ mentioned his podcast and his band. I'm gonna have to check it out because I have a podcast as well. I co-host with my best friend. Yeah, no, we're definitely gonna, we're linking up. It's called Have a Drink Podcast, where we talk about everything from music and culture to, you know, loving yourself, financial education, managing fear, managing anger, talking about hard situations and hard topics. Just kind of modeling conversations we wish people had, you know, whether they're male-bodied individuals or just people in general. But yeah, you can find us like anywhere on Spotify, Apple Music, all of that. Have a Drink Podcast is yeah.
That's beautiful, man. I can't believe that shirt. Like you kind of blew my mind. I was like,
oh, I've got a ton of them. Yeah,
it means what?
I believe I can. It came from the idea of, you know, subliminal messaging is something that gets utilized a lot of times for negative reasons, or more of just like the, hey, buy more of my shit kind of stuff. And what I was tired of seeing was that, and I was like, what if I'm just walking down the street, somebody sees my shirt? What if they're getting something more from it than just, hey, buy more of these t-shirts? What if it is something that's empowering for them to do, to feel, to say, to think, you know? Also, you might hear my children in the background yelling.
Under text,
I'd hope
it was
you
a
have
great.
kids with that awesome energy.
Say it again, Angelique.
I would have hoped he had kids with that awesome personality.
Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, but no, two with their own amazing personalities, large personalities.
I would totally wear that t-shirt, and
yeah, same here.
Santa might be, I mean, I'm not home in LA, I'm in New York, but maybe Santa arrives in LA by the time I arrive there Tuesday. I'm just saying.
I got you.
Yeah, that Andra had a great idea too. She texted me of you guys being able to put your own merch in the JFH store. I think it's a great idea.
Two questions. Yeah, two ideas after this, and you know that's. I mean, I don't want to get, because we didn't start the test sessions. We will discuss next week about new functionality. But what I hear is from you being able to invite other people to join you, people that are not in the cast, so you can send the invitation to people and say, hey, I'm part of this, join me, create with me. So we'll talk about that more next week at the test session. And yes, the coding workshop as well. I'll see you.
Yeah, I see Yulong hugging his son. It's a beautiful moment. Yulong, I see Yulong and Mouse with their hands up. What's going on? Yulong first.
Hey, hi. So I know we're getting close to, I think we're getting close to the end. I hope not. I could sit here for hours and hear everyone's ideas and stories. Are amazing. I think we're at the start of 2022. Despite whatever is going on in the world, we should make our own world and make it amazing, and just show everyone how amazing they can make their own stuff. Really put all our effort into finding who clicks with our ideas, our stories, put it together, find opposition in our stories, find a position with other characters that be like, well, I don't really like that story. Great, jump in anyway. Let's collaborate. Let's create a major conflict and just make a gigantic storyline. We can make amazing things happen. Maybe I mean, I'm running off ideas and listening to everyone and just getting so inspired of just saying, man, put pen to paper, put finger to keyboard, and just throw in a paragraph and run with it and make something amazing. Let's sit with Jan, get an idea, develop the character, develop a story, find what connects with the canon of JFH, and make something great, be it 20 minutes that spans over 4 weeks, 5 minutes videos, 2-minute videos, hold the camera up, do a TikTok, do something, anything, just make content, document your ideas, make an outline, make something amazing, because it's amazing to you, but other people don't know why. So let's make them understand why and just keep pushing it out. Your stories are amazing. Everyone's personal life shapes a great, fantastical realm of magic and wonder. And we can make that great with each other. Maybe 2 minutes of, hey, let's get Guru in there. Let's get everybody in there. Let's get a whole Zoom call and just throw in some ideas and then just make believe. Just make believe.
So fitting for this.
Really, let's just make believe. Yeah, because when we sit there, life, man, it's in our mind. And our experiences are in our mind. And we can make the greatest thing happen, and we can make the worst thing happen. And if anyone is wondering what kind of content to put out, just think about it for a moment. What do you hate during the day? And that's the conflict you could put in your story. What do you enjoy during the day, but you can't get your hands on because maybe it's too far away for you to attain? Put that in your story and then make believe you attained it. Because make believe, row your boat, right? Gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. We just make shit happen. And just make it happen, because we can't push that enough. Obstacles, yeah, there you go. Obstacles are only imaginary, and the great things are imaginary too. So why not just imagine more great things? And who cares about the other things? It doesn't matter.
Wow,
Let's
that's
make stuff
called
happen.
getting it.
Get it.
Getting it.
Get it. Cool.
Then thank you for sharing that, Yula. And I know to Mouse, you're next, but Angelique is about to jump off. So thank you, Angelique.
You're welcome. Thank you everyone for letting me join in last minute and say hi to you all. I hope this was a really productive group meeting, and best of luck to the year. See you soon.
Yeah, we will see you soon.
Yeah.
We're going to see you soon, Angelique.
Happy New Year. Hey, Emily. Bye. Bye,
I
y'all.
love you. Thank you. And Mouse.
Hello. Okay. So I don't have a for sure when it's coming out, but I'm making music, some rap, but because everybody was plugging stuff, I wanted to plug it too. It's coming out this year. I'm starting with a single and then a 10-song album. It's called Outcast, and my rap name's Ace. So yeah.
Nice.
If you want to find me, I also have another Instagram, which is Ace official or Ace Music. So,
Well, we're going to have to get you on this JFH soundtrack. I'm serious.
maybe might do one full song dedicated to it.
We will have. So we actually have our theme song. We've been meaning to put this out for about. We have a few rappers from the community that came on to it. You don't have to be a rapper to be on it, but like we actually have a theme song, and it has a bunch of space for heroes from the community to come on. So that'll come out probably in the next 2 months. When I say come out, we'll actually do a challenge around that, and you can jump on the track too. So that'd be great. Anybody who's into music,
Tell me when,
drop a verse.
because I will hop on. Just tell me when, and I will. I shall.
Awesome, man. And yeah, drop a link to your stuff in the chat too. Creator. So you're.
Hi.
Plug your shit.
What I just want to say was this year was very, very amazing. I actually met quite a few interesting people. Brendan Wee from Max Chen, and I actually got to win an Urban Action Showcase. So that is a good achievement for me, and all the help through you guys. So yeah.
Yeah, he's a little cheesy.
Oh man, that's right. Creator and Max Chen won the Audience Choice Award last year for the Urban Action Showcase, sponsored by Warner Media. So that was really, really awesome. Again, like it was very stiff competition because there was so much quality put together. So that's a very big deal. And you know,
And I owe you guys a huge thanks for that. Like if it wasn't for you guys, I would have never even attempted it. But you know, the only shots that you can take is the ones that hit or miss. And if you don't take any, you miss them all, right?
It's true.
So I took a shot and I won.
And I'll once again say, Creator, that he has my son's favorite superhero outfit in JFH, because you know, I'm a plainclothes hero, but Creator actually made his own outfit with a shield, and has a battle with Cowboy, the pro MMA fighter Brendan Weaver in the which all you guys are going to see in the coming weeks, because we're going to be editing live. It's going to be great. All right, so I will say this, guys, and unless anyone else has anything to say, we have a real opportunity together, and it's an opportunity to forge the future of how movies and shows are made, and we're doing it now. And we have to get better, because we need to make a path that's clear and repeatable, so that others can follow in our footsteps. So there's that. And you know, for those of you who are interested in joining us on the ReelwUrld side, the ReelwUrld team, our intention is to actually hire, to have employees like for the company ReelwUrld from our community. That's really the main source that we want to be hiring from. So I've talked to a bunch of you on what that means right now and how that can change in the future, and the future meaning in the coming months and year. But right now we are setting up so that anybody that believes they can bring value to ReelwUrld, beyond JFH, but helping JFH as a proof of concept for our first show, but also being able to help us position ReelwUrld as the world's leading social film studio, a studio making movies and shows with the world. If you believe, I've already talked to most of you on here. I have to have personal calls with more of you in the coming days. But if you believe that you can bring more value to ReelwUrld, let's talk, because we have a plan, and that plan is being executed like now. If we do this equity crowdfunding right, which we have until April 30th to do right, it's going to we're really set for the next few years. Like we do it right once, we're very set for the next few years. So the next few months are actually like ridiculously important, massively important. So it's been a challenge to get to this point, and now we're at a place where we can actually expand the team and really go for the gold. And there's no one else that I would rather do it with than the folks on this call and our community. So you know, let's if we've talked this week, expect an email from me in the coming days. And if we have not talked this week and we were supposed to, or you would like to talk on what this means, let's set that call up for the next coming days. But I'm so grateful to each and every one of you guys, because it actually, if it wasn't for you, this wouldn't work. You know, like I said, I was in the studios in 2014. I was sitting in Sony when they're preparing for Ghostbusters to come out, and I'm like, well, that's gonna not be as powerful as you think it's going to be, but you know what is going to be great? ReelwUrld. Yeah. Oh yeah. So you know, it took a long time to get to a place where what we're doing is accessible enough for people to participate. And it's because of everyone's efforts on here. It's because of having someone like Andra take her talent and skill and create an app that allows us to say, hey, look, every movie and show, it's going to have its own app where people are going to go to, and they're going to make content as their own characters in their favorite worlds, starring as their own characters. And they're going to be able to interconnect and hang out with other people's characters. And now there's all this talk of metaverse and there's and all these other things that are trendy, but the technology can only work if the behavior changes, and the behavior can only change if the thinking changes. And what we are right now on this call as an example of a shift in thinking, because we're all working together, we're all telling a story together. And the more we let others know that this shift has happened and that we are embodying it, the larger our community is going to be. And that's the only way we're going to become the world's leading studio for movies and television made with the community. We are going to be the world's leading studio for movies and shows made with the community. That's us. So it's already begun. You're already a part of it. I am personally massively thankful to each and every one of you. And this year is going to be our biggest year yet. So thank you guys so much for being here. We are going to get that little fire thing fixed. If you just heard it, I think it's a battery that's a little dead. But if there's any other ideas, thoughts, anything you want to share, I just want to say thank you and I love you guys. So, and yeah.
I'm just raising my hand.
Oh,
thank you so much. I want to. Guru, I'm just gonna put it out there. Guru asked me when we met in LA, what does success look for us as a team, as ReelwUrld, as JFH? And I would just leave you with this for you as your character, and for your own life. And I answered, we were in the car, still remember, and he was playing his video from the app. And I said, for me, that's success. When I see that my work is at use and it serves its purpose. So bring it on. Bring it on. We're here for this. We're together. We're just growing bigger and better. I've made an inventory at the end of the year, and it's so great to see that how we celebrate every win and every failure, because that's how we learn. And I'm like, the balance is definitely winning. We just have to speed it up. And I'm so encouraged by all of you. And yeah, just think of what success means. And for me personally is when my work serves its purpose. So max that storage out. Foundational heroes. Love you all.
Love you guys. Thank you, everybody.
I want to jump in real quick. I know we're at the end, but we're in a great time of our lives right now. Look where we're at. We're on Zoom. We have our conference. We're right here spilling ideas, shooting out right directly to each other's brain. Our spirit right there. I am excited. I want to start recording right now. And if you guys have ever seen the Yulong series, you know my basement is missing a lot of tiles for that drop ceiling, and I just record anyway. Do it. Do it. We got so much power right there. We can do so much. Like, it's so late right now where I'm at. I mean, some of us are on the East Coast in Pennsylvania. It's amazing that we can just do this right now, right here on our laptops, on our phones. We could even just shoot a scene right here, right now. We did already. Look at this, 2 hours. We're almost, what is it, 2 hours? Look at that, 9:45 where I'm at. It's amazing. I already hit 2 glasses of wine. Company over. We have an amazing, amazing community. And I just feel like I'm not doing enough. I want to do more. I think we can all just not do more. I mean, we can just have so much of our quality shown to the whole world. And it's just an amazing thing, really. Like, we got something special. And thank you, Jan. Thank you, Andra. Thank you, everyone who puts it together. Autumn Kelly, I'm reading off here because my contact lenses don't really fit for my eyes, so everything's italicized. That's how I shoot everything, and I read my stuff, and I look, and I'm like, what is that? Okay, great. Guys, you're awesome, and you're all an inspiration. And thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you, Iran, and thank you, Danny. as usual for being such a foundational part of, I think, all of our fandom. So thank you. It's so important, everybody,
That means I'll accept it, but thank you. On a foundation. Okay.
Hey, that's important stuff. You got on your foundation.
It was. Thanks for inviting me to be part of this, and you know, I will explore more and find out more, and links. I can click on a link. I'm a genius. So
we're giving you a crossbow, Danny. You're going in an action scene.
what?
We're giving you a crossbow. You're going in an action scene.
Okay, I'm there. I just need goggles. That's all. Just want to be get my eyes.
Everybody, have an amazing night. Thank you all so much for making this such a special. Like, we've set the intention for the year. This year is going to be our biggest year yet. Last year was our biggest year yet. 2022 is going to be a ridiculous milestone. We're bringing a bunch of team members in-house as employees for ReelwUrld, because we're going to have all the fuel to do it, and setting these intentions out there. We're doing these great things now. Anyone who's watching on YouTube or anywhere else that this is on platform, you can join Justice for Hire, the cast from justiceforhire.app right now. And if you want to be a part of ReelwUrld, oh, look, hold on. Guru's got the app open right now. Look at that. You join right there. You can hire a hero or become one. You can also play a villain. You can do that right now from justiceforhire.app. Oh, look at him. Look at that. Look at that. We can put him in slow motion. And of course, if you want to be a part of ReelwUrld and invest in the future of film and TV, we're making it social. It is the future. We're doing it now. wefunder.com/ReelwUrld. That's ReelwUrld. Again, ReelwUrld. And anybody who is on here who wants to work with us, or anyone who's watching and wants to work with us, reach out, because that's how we're building this together. We're building it physically together. So love you guys. Have an amazing weekend, a safe weekend. Stay healthy and strong, and just sending so much love out in all directions, guys. So thank you.
Right back at you. Thank you.
Love you.
Thank
guys.
you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
You guys
Bonne
rock.
année. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, all.
New Year's, yo.